welcome again in the spotlight. Thank you for joining us today on Progress TV. Today we have a special guest, Liz Mente Bishop. Welcome to the studio.
Hello, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for you to be here. Liz, tell us who Liz is. Who is Liz Mente Bishop?
Well, Liz Mente Bishop is primarily a mum of 3 teenagers.
Wow.
Yes. I'm married to my husband Murray, who's a financial advisor, and we live on my parents' family farm in Oxfordshire. Work-wise, I do acting, modelling, directing, producing. I own my own production company. I've also written a children's novel.
Wow.
So yeah, get up
So
to a few
there's
things.
a lot of things
Yeah.
you're doing now. How do you manage to actually juggle all this around?
Well, I tend to call myself the logistics queen, really. It's just a case of being really organised, having a fantastic family who help me out a lot as well.
Support you, yes, that's always important.
And I work pretty hard. There's not an awful lot of TV watching and things like that. So get up pretty early and just get the ball rolling.
Hardworking.
Hardworking.
Very hardworking. So we're going to have a quick look at Liz's show reel. Let's have a quick look at that and see what she does. Have a look at her in action before we continue with the interview.
Death do us part.
The water's wide, and I cannot cross over. Nor do I have wings to fly.
Hello.
Oh, hello, I'm Tom's mum, Beth. You must be one of Tom's friends.
Nice to meet you, I'm Scott.
Tom, can we go and talk?
Well, there are some benches down there. I'll meet you there tomorrow.
Well, why not later?
A boy playing around with bugs on a spring morning. But where I come from, bugs bring poison and fever so strong it can make your heart melt. I won't protect him from the bugs, but I will protect him from their poisons. She's a bitch.
Oi! You ain't going nowhere. Get up to your room.
No, I won't. You're drunk. I'm going.
Going to play with your little friend. You're disgusting.
Don't need this.
I said no. Now you will get yourself to bed. And in the morning we'll discuss where you've been all day.
You'll be sober in the morning.
Go to bed, Jake.
The bloody hell is he? Oh, it's not your husband. Oh, Christ. Christ, listen, whatever your name is, it's nothing. Right, Max? Nothing. Really, I have no idea. She approached me.
Liz, how did you start acting? When did you start acting, or when did you think, I want to take on acting? Were you...
I actually started quite late. I it actually stemmed from having written my book, and I was looking for places to advertise it. And I came across an internet site that had that were looking for writers and actors and models, and I started to, because of that, I ended up doing some modelling, and then I ended up looking at, just out of interest, at different casting calls, and discovered there was an advert for crazy people wanted for a TV show. I thought, sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So I applied for that, and I ended up in Argentina doing a game show.
So you've been in Argentina for a game show.
Yes, I have.
You've been very busy indeed.
I have. And then after that, I just was really enjoying it. And my children were doing summer drama workshops, and I was helping them learn their lines and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, you know what, I absolutely love this. I remember as a child doing drama at school and really enjoying it, and I'd completely forgotten, because I went on to do catering and had my own outside catering company to start with. So I thought, I wonder if there's acting on these sites that have everything else on them. And so there was, and I applied for a couple of just student films to start with, which is like a really good place to start if you haven't got much training, because they're learning and you're learning, and everyone just works together, so that's quite good. So I got a couple of roles on student films, and then I got a phone call from out of the blue from a director in Scotland.
Wow.
Saying that he'd read about me on the internet because I got married on top of a mountain.
Oh, where was that?
So on the Isle of Skye in the Coolin mountain ridge, there's a buttress that sticks out, and it's called the Keok. And I don't know if you've seen a film called Highlander. But
yes, I've definitely seen
so
that
with
one.
Christopher Lambert and Sean Connery, and they have that dramatic sword fight on this buttress that sticks out. Well, I got married on top of that.
Wow.
So we're the only people ever to have done it, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, he read about that, and he said to me, I'm looking for a crazy person to come and swim in the sea, and it'll only be about 11 degrees, and you've got to act out drowning and various other stuff. And I was like, oh, sure, yeah, I'll do that, no problem. Hung up the phone and then went, oh, I can't swim.
So you can actually take on something where you can't
It's just
swim.
like, say yes, worry about it later.
Yeah.
So I rang up a friend of mine who used to be a lifeguard. I was like, you so have to help me. Well, the thing is, I had swimming lessons, so I could swim, but I kind of was the sort of person that always swam next to the edge and liked to put my feet down. I was like, I'm just going to go and swim in the sea.
In the sea, from learning that to the sea. Oh my God, how did you actually manage to do that?
So he took me out to a lake, and we basically just gave me loads of buoyancy aids and got me out to the middle. And then over a progress of weeks, we just gradually took them away until I swam out to the middle and just floated and relaxed and swam back. And so by the time I got there, it was fine. All done.
All done. Yeah. And you actually did everything.
And I did everything.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Wow. Multi-talented. Very multi-talented. Tell us a bit more about your book.
Oh, my book. Well, I actually had a climbing accident in 2004, and I spent a long time having to have bed rest. And during that time, I wanted to keep my mind active, so I started writing letters to people who inspired me. And I wrote a letter to an author, Katie Fjord. Yeah, she's a romantic novelist, and bless her, I ended up writing 14 A4 pages. So she read them all and she replied, and she said to me, you know, you should have a go at writing. You've got a great writing style. So I wrote a short story, entered a competition, and it was like a national competition with thousands of entrants, and I came like in the top 5%.
Wow.
So I then took a children's writing course, and during that time, I just woke up one morning with the name Nicodemus in my head. Don't know where it came from. And I had name books at home from when I had my children, and I looked it up, and Nicodemus means conqueror for the people, and I just thought, what a fantastic hero. So I then just got my dining room table and rolled out a load of paper, got my name book, and just started looking up all these fantastic Greek names with really good meanings, and then created the good guys and the bad guys based on the meanings. And then this story emerged, and I'd done mind mapping and stuff in the past, so just started like creating it.
Getting ideas together.
Yeah, and ended up with like a beginning, middle and end, And then all I had to do was write it, of course, which was a whole different thing. But basically, it's kind of like Bugs Life meets The Borrowers. So it's miniature people who fly around on miniature insects, and it's set in Mykonos and Delos in the Greek islands. So naturally I did have to go out there and do my research, which was awful.
You've been doing a lot of travelling, haven't you?
I love travelling. I love travelling.
Oh, so that's great. So you get to travel and do what you like to do best.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
So I went out and did research and got loads of inspiration from my story actually being out there. And then so basically it's the good guys and the bad guys. And the bad guys kidnap the niece of Nicodemus, and the story is about how he goes to rescue her.
Can we purchase this book? Okay, because it sounds very interesting. I know that I like things like The Borrowers.
Yes.
I like the idea of a different world, different people living, small people living.
Yeah, all around you, and you don't know.
Yeah, and you don't know.
No, that's great. Well, I really like
suspicious. I really like things like that. Where can we purchase this
Well,
book?
I've actually got my own website. Yeah, so the story is called Nicodemus and the Flight of Argus. And actually, you can either find it through typing in that name or my name, so Liz Mente Bishop. I have my own website, and that has a link to my book website as well.
There's the website right here. Get yourself on that. I know I'm gonna definitely have to purchase that. You're so multi-talented. We have to talk about other things that you do. You're also a model.
I am a model, yes. I've did an interesting project with celebrity photographer Alistair Morrison, who he was doing a project in honour of Helmut Newton, I apologise, I'm not entirely sure which one it is. He did a project in the 70s called, I'm not sure if it was Nudes or Real Women or what have you, and Alistair Morrison was doing another project in honour of that. So I worked with him on that, which was nerve-wracking because it was nudes, and it's something I had never done. But I've actually since had to do something similar, because my latest production that I did with my production company was the Olivier Award-winning play Steaming by Mel Dunn.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that one too.
Well, I played the role of Nancy, and I actually also produced it and directed it, and
really?
I did the entire production, designed the set, did all the costumes, did absolutely everything. But we four of us have to get naked in the play, so that was quite scary. And we had a big plunge pool at the front, which we had to jump into. So
that's your first modelling experience.
That wasn't my first modelling experience. I'd done quite a bit of work with photographers for their portfolios or lingerie, or just particular things. There are quite a few wedding ones, because I've still got my original wedding dress, which is absolutely beautiful, very like Kate, as in Wills and Kate. When she got married, my dad went, "Oh my word, that looks just like Liz's dress." So it's exquisite, and I'm fortunate I can still get in it, because I was, how old was I? 21, I think, when I got married. Right. So it's great. So lots of them look for models who've got their own wedding dresses.
Yes.
So I've done those sorts of things. I've just done a mother and daughter shoot in London. My daughter's 17, and so I applied for one of those castings, and we got that. So that's really nice. I haven't got the pictures yet, so but yeah, so a variety of
a variety. And
yeah.
This was in Oxfordshire.
No, all over the place actually. In fact, I did a fantastic shoot once, like a body art thing, where this guy had multicolours and painted arrows and stars and what have you, and then he kind of makes the whole thing dark, and then you go into poses, and then they all light up. So
that sounds
really fun. There's some really good pictures from that. Yeah, so just so all over the place.
Yeah.
I tend to go wherever the work is. I'm not fussy.
You take every opportunity that comes your way.
I do.
That sounds fantastic. That's exactly what we need. Someone so inspirational, someone so strong. She does everything, and she takes on every challenge that comes her way. That's fantastic. It's really inspiring. Tell us, when you started doing modelling, from modelling to acting, any bad experiences that you've experienced so far, or?
Good question. I'm not sure that I have. Certainly not any modelling ones. I mean, there's been production levels and things on films that I've been disappointed
Yes,
in,
yeah.
Certainly, but I wouldn't call them bad.
Bad, yeah,
No,
yeah, because in that industry you kind of get all these
you do.
funny.
You do. I think partly my advice to people, I always, research the people that I'm going to see,
Yes.
and also I always let people know where I'm going. You need to just be careful and have your wits about you, and I think don't be too keen and eager to take everything, because unfortunately not everything is legitimate or safe, and in particular I'm quite a lot older than a lot of the younger models, so I feel that I've had a lot of worldly experience, and keep my head on my shoulders quite well, but I would suggest that maybe younger people take a friend.
Yeah,
Take a friend.
Yeah.
if you're worried, and sometimes these locations are a bit out of the way, and just take a mate.
Yeah, especially when you have to go a bit out of the city.
Yeah.
Especially just let someone know where you are, give them the address, the phone number, or anything like that.
Definitely. And then also an expected time that you should be coming home, and and just keep in contact with people.
Yeah.
But generally, no, I've not had any problems.
Oh, that's great. Let's talk about good experiences, because that's enough of the bad. Let's
Yeah.
go on to good. I know, scaring everyone off doing acting now. Good experiences. Tell us a bit more about that.
Gosh, I've had some really good experiences, and look, I mean, just so much fun. I think I've probably had more fun doing stage work because you have more time. Generally, you have more time. You have rehearsal time. It's if fortunately, hopefully, it's more relaxed. With my last production, we actually, the rehearsals ran over a couple of months, and because steaming is set in a Turkish baths, I managed to gain sponsorship by a Turkish baths in London.
Oh, wow.
And so myself and the other ladies in the cast got to go in and go into the steam rooms and the sauna and all the rest of it, so that we could work on proper sense memory when we were on the stage. So relive what it feels like and smells like, because when you're just on an open stage, it's completely different from actually being in
behind the camera.
But also it's different from actually being in the place where you're meant to be.
So
what we did was we went there and kind of got all the experiences and the smells and the heat and how it, because obviously when you're just plonked on top of a stage, it can be quite stark, not necessarily very relaxing. But when you are in a steam room, which is what we were then trying to redo, obviously you're all totally chilled out and everyone's sleeping, relaxing, and so it was a good way of getting all the senses into you, so that you could take that home and rehearse it and get that real sense of being there when you're actually on the stage. But during that time we just had the best time. We just had so much fun, and also it just makes, because it's all bonding, and when you get that chemistry on the stage, it's just fantastic. So that's, from that point of view, I think I really enjoy stage because the rehearsal times are often a lot of fun. But with film, I think the great thing with film is the outtakes. When you mess up your lines, or somebody, I don't know.
You can do however many takes in one.
Yeah, absolutely. And you do all these things, and you just get the fits, the giggles, and then you've got it under control, and they're like, and action. It's like, oh no, I'm sorry, okay, I've got it. I mean, to be honest, that hasn't happened a lot, but it's great. So they're fun to have. And I've just done the last film I did. My dog's in it. Right, he is not a trained dog, okay? And he was hilarious because he just clearly decided he was going to be a one-take wonder. He's like, I want to get back to my bed. So he was in 2 different scenes, and he was pretty much one take, and he was done. And he's like, right.
He was that good?
Yeah. It's like, this is how it's done. Okay? So
just one take, and then I'm gonna go.
So that was fun, and I think meeting new people and obviously challenging yourself and trying different things. There's so much to be gained from it.
From it. So would you say you like stage performance or behind the camera?
I love film and stage, both. I don't know that I can decide, actually.
Yeah, you like them both.
I
you
really
like performing.
do. I love performing, basically. In a word. I mean, I think you do get an amazing buzz of the stage though. And I think obviously the fear factor with stage is you only get one take, you know, and if you forget your lines, you've just got to keep going. Yeah, you just got to keep going. I mean, and that's where the rehearsal process and improvisation and understanding your character and essentially what they are saying and meaning, so that even if the line goes, you can keep the essence going.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's makes you really alive.
Yeah.
So it's fantastic, and the buzz, the fine, you know, when you bow at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
I feel like you've accomplished it.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So I don't gain that so much, certainly from filming, especially when you're on take 22.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, you know, and you're thinking, okay, really, I'm done now.
I'm done. Tired.
So, yeah. But then when you see, once it's all been edited and the score's put in, and you sit back and you see it, it's like, oh yeah, no, I do really like doing that as well.
Feel the pride.
Yeah.
So when you're doing performing arts, when you're performing on stage, what gives you the confidence? I mean, do you think there's no? I've heard some people say, "Oh, just imagine a dark. Don't think of anything or see anybody." What like nerves? Mostly people get so nervous when they're performing in front of so many people.
Well, a lot of that has come from my training. So I've done method training, and a phenomenal amount of the training is about relaxation.
Yes.
Teaching you how to relax and become free and vulnerable and open, and before you go anywhere you need to chill out.
Yeah.
And so before I ever go on stage, I have kind of a ritual that I do with my headphones in, and even I don't care what is happening behind stage. I mean, even when I ran steaming and there was potentially light disasters or stage disasters, I'm like, we're going on in 15, I'm shutting off.
Yeah,
I'm
relax.
relaxing. I'm the auditorium can fall down, I'm relaxing. So that helps enormously. But for me, and I don't know whether, you know, I just get so heavily involved, but I just get so in the moment that I'm in that place with those people. I don't actually think about the audience. I mean, it's just because I'm just living the moment.
Yeah, so you get so much into character that you forget what's random.
Yeah, I do.
I'll take that on board.
Yeah. It's great.
I'll take that on board. Tell us a bit more about your production.
What, steaming? Or,
yeah.
Gosh, well actually it all came about. I'd applied to a casting call for the role of Nancy, and the gentleman got back to me and he said, yep, you would be ideal for an audition.
Yeah.
And then he contacted me again and said, actually, I'm not going to set this up, but would you be interested in directing? I was like, yeah, can do. I was at the time I'm directing a tour as well, so, and I'd wanted to sort of set up my own company and direct and produce and do everything, and I was like, okay, someone is handing me this on a plate, say yes.
So yeah.
Say yes.
Worry about it
later. So okay, I'll direct, and because I'd read the play and my role, was certainly doable to direct and to perform. So I said, okay.
You're not only a director. So we're learning a lot here. I really don't know how you managed to do all these things.
No, my children made me a T-shirt actually a little while ago. Just this list all down the back of it with all my jobs.
Yeah.
So I said yes to that, and then he rang me a week or so later and said, actually, I'm not sure I can do this. I think I've bitten off more than I can chew, but I'd love to see the production take place. Do you just want to have the whole thing? Oh. So he said he'd already had, I know, like 100 people apply for the roles. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I really like the play. Let's give it a whirl. And so he contacted all the applicants and sent them all to me.
Yes.
And then I just sieved through them all, set up auditioned everyone, chose my cast and did rehearsals.
Wow. And so off it was.
And off it went. I make it sound so easy, believe me, it wasn't.
It wouldn't be that easy.
It was somewhat of a logistical nightmare.
Yes.
And also, I mean, I have 3 children and I was running another production and a tour at the same time. So, I mean, I really didn't do much sleeping or resting for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But I'm really pleased I did it.
Yeah, I'm sure you should be very proud. You should be very proud. I'm speechless. You should be very proud. It's very inspiring, and I would love to see myself do exactly what you do. Every opportunity, take it and make it use. Just do whatever you can do. Take it on, worry about it later.
I think I'm going to cause chaos now.
Everyone's going to be emailing you, oh, Liz.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, should we do
What
that?
you
Should I'm
said,
like, oh no, what am I going to have to say yes to? Oh,
well,
dear.
if you think you can do it, I think you should go ahead and do it. Yeah, if you think you can do it, yes.
If you want to, if you want to do it,
want to.
because it's a very difficult industry. It is very hard work. It's a lot of competition, and you've really got to love it. You've really got to want to do it and be determined, and don't take it personally.
Yes.
Because you get a lot of rejections, and in particular things like when you're doing a casting for a commercial.
Yeah.
They could be looking for just one specific thing, and there are so many people auditioning for it. If you don't get that, you cannot take it personally.
Yeah.
Because it may have just been that your hair was too short. Do you know what I mean? It could have nothing to do with it. And I think one thing people really have to remember is when the audition is done, leave it behind.
Yes.
You know, you can't change what you've done. Potentially learn from it. So if you know in your heart that you messed it up, then potentially you should evaluate how to not do that again. So learn from your mistake. But if you left there feeling good, feeling you'd shown yourself off well, then be proud of that.
Yeah.
And they may well have just been looking for someone else, or the criteria changed, or any number of things. But don't beat yourself up about it.
Yes.
Otherwise you won't get out of bed.
Because then you won't feel the need to continue trying.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so keep positive and keep pushing and keep going, and one day you might achieve what you would like to achieve. Where would you like to see yourself in 2 years?
In 2 years?
Yes, in the very near future.
Oh.
Because you've got so much going on. Which one would you really like to see?
I would
say?
actually. I'd like to see myself with a good role. Well, there is something that I would quite like to do. I'm not going to say.
Go on, tell us.
No, in the pipeline there's something that I would quite like to go for, but I'm not saying that right now. But yeah, a good role in either a feature or TV. I fancy some film work at the moment. I think I've done so much stage, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But due to my back collapsing last year, I had to actually cancel a production that should have been done last month, which was really disappointing.
Yeah, what actually happened during that time?
Well, so after I did Steaming, which finished at the end of September,
Yes.
I then started getting ready for my next production and put out a casting call, and a week before the audition started, I suffered a prolapsed disc in my spine, which was unbelievably painful. And I was basically face down in my bed for nearly a week until they managed to get me some medication to alleviate the pain. And so I had to cancel all the auditions, postpone the production, and then try and sort out how we were going to move forward, whether my back was, because sometimes if you just have a bulging disc, sometimes with physio it can get popped back in.
Yes.
So I had to wait for the results of my MRI to find out how bad it was. It was really bad.
Oh,
it was really bad. They couldn't fix it. They tried giving me what's called a spinal nerve block, which sort of desensitizes all the sciatic nerves and stuff, which get really badly affected. But that didn't work either. So I had to have surgery.
Oh God, this must have been a stressing time.
Really,
especially when you have to put everything on hold.
Well, very much so. I had, because when it happened, so I had my production and I had 4 films that I was supposed to be doing. So I cancelled the production and 3 films, but I did keep 1 on. And so I had my surgery on the 8th of January this year, which it was a spinal fusion. So they had to remove all the damaged disc and replace it with a fake one and what they call a cage, and then there's 4 screws in there now, and it basically holds it in place while it fuses back together. So my back is now pain-free. It's fantastic. Surgeon did
Wow.
a brilliant job.
So you're back on track now.
Yeah, so I've just passed the 3-month marker. You have to be very careful for a long period of time because it's potentially the screws can come out or you can pop another disc
Oh,
and that kind of
so
stuff.
You have
So
to be very careful.
very careful. But I'm doing really well, which is good. So yes, I did decide to keep this one film though because I had been offered the role in March last year, and it was actually originally meant for a man, but I'd done 2 films with this company, and they liked my work enough that they decided to change it and make it a female role.
Wow,
And
they
asked-
actually changed the whole script to fit you in.
Yeah,
That's
lucky me.
fantastic.
So that's what we did, and we'd been working on it for months, and I just thought I don't want to get out of this.
Yeah.
But there were other reasons as well because I'd offered my house as a location. So if I pulled out, they'd have no location either.
Yes. Yeah. That's a
And
lot.
also the role was immensely challenging. It was about someone who was became blind when they were 10 months old, and they were then given an operation at my age to regain their sight, only it didn't quite go according to plan. So it was a really challenging role, and I wanted to do it, so I did.
So you did. So
Yeah.
straight after all that operation, the surgery, you went on to it.
2 weeks after surgery.
Wow, you're a very strong woman, Liz. I am so inspired, and I'm sure someone is watching right now and they want you to advise. If they want to come in the same field as you, what would you advise them?
What would I advise people wanting to do acting and what I do? Be very tenacious, determined, hardworking, believe in yourself, don't take it personally, do your research, study, work hard, and don't give in, and you'll do it.
Thank you so much, Liz, for coming to In the Spotlight today. It's
Thank
absolutely
you.
an honor having you here.
Thank you for having
so
me.
much. Thank you. Join us again in the Spotlight right here on Progress TV. My name is Ntombi Shibambo, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.